Hey everybody, welcome in and welcome on to the very first issue of The Flight Deck, your weekly home for all things Pensacola Ice Flyers.
I'm Big Moose, the PA announcer inside the hangar.
And I am Will Riggs, your in-arena DJ. And man, we're really pumped to launch this podcast. The fans have already been overwhelming support and all the chat rooms and online and Twitter and all those things. So we're really excited to do it. And Moose, I'm really excited to do it with you. I mean, I think we hit it off night one.
We did. We really did. You know, having that radio background and then both of us enjoying that Texas style brisket, it works out. It's a good partnership.
It does. So as you come into the show, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, and then click that little notification bell so you never miss an episode, because it really helps the show grow. Now we're going to get into our first segment real quick here. It's called News and Notes, and the transaction wire has been on fire for the Pensacola Ice Flyers.
This past week was definitely a busy week. Of course, we saw the trade, losing Sam Dabrowski and that Matt Wiesner, and then seeing that we'll be getting Mike Moran and future considerations, whatever that means later on down the road, is what we got in exchange. And it worked out this past weekend as Mike Moran had a pretty decent weekend in his first games at the hangar.
Heck yeah, we're going to definitely talk about that a lot when we get to our highlights. But one of the big news that just happened recently was that Ty Taylor, goaltender, was loaned out to the ECHL South Carolina Stingrays, and Logan Flodell was activated off of IR, which means it's going to be the rookie goaltender Rico DiMatteo getting most of the time between the pipes.
And I'm not upset about that. He's showing us what he's had so far, and I'm definitely enjoying what I'm seeing when we get to announce that Rico DiMatteo is in goal for the Ice Flyers. Another roster note is the loss of Blake Wells. He was sent off to ECHL Tahoe this past week. But once again, Coach Jeremy Gates has the backups ready to go, activating Samson Milland right off that IR.
And I think it just shows the depth of our team that, we can trade and we have all these maneuvers, or guys get called up to, the next level. And we have guys who will step right in and perform. And I mean, I think that's a big reason why we stand atop the standings in the SPHL with a 2-point lead over Evansville.
Well, one of the things, Pensacola has always been a destination for players to come to. I mean, you get to live in paradise. You get to live on the beach during hockey season. It doesn't suck. The thing is, you also want to see these young players develop, and you want to say, hey, I got to see him play in Pensacola for the Ice Flyers a year back, as they're now playing in the ECHL, or even in some cases going all the way up to the AHL and continuing to advance their career.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome place. We moved down here in April because it's paradise. So living at the beach it doesn't suck, like you said. It does not suck in any bit. But this past weekend we had a pair of games with the Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. So I had to say that out loud. Otherwise, I would mumble it all the way through. So I had to pronunciate and enunciate, because we get paid to say words. And if you can't say those words, you typically don't get paid for it. But, Friday night was really cool because it was rally night, which was a fundraiser for the Gulf Coast Rally Foundation. But before they hit the ice, the players, coaches, staff, and owner Greg Harris hosted the Rally Foundation dinner at the Bay Center. Let's take a look.
It really does take a village to get these families through this journey, and so the Ice Flyers are a huge part in what we do.
It's something really that I want to make sure, like I said, that we're doing our part to get back to the community, to rally Gulf Coast through everything that we do. Appreciate being here, part of the Rally Foundation and Ice Flyers. You guys hosting this means a lot to all the kids that are here. Getting to see you guys play and be a part of it. Thank you.
journey is still unfolding, but we hold on to hope every single day. Hope in medicine, hope in miracles, hope in our community, hope because of organizations like Rally.
What a great event. Rally Gulf Coast provides support for pediatric oncology families across the Florida Panhandle and South Alabama regions. This weekend's event helped raise a lot more money for the foundation. We're going to get to that here shortly, but for now, let's get to some highlights.
Friday night, rally night in the hangar, a rainy, dreary day outside, but looking to make it a good weekend in the hangar. Roanoke strikes first at 7:58 of the first period. They take an early lead off a goal from Richard Boyson and hold that 1-0 lead all the way to the beginning of the third period.
Yeah, the third period opened, and we got a face-off in the offensive zone 40 seconds in, and newcomer Mike Moran slap shot right off the face-off, and man, he nailed it home. Goalie didn't even see it. His first goal as an ice flyer and a tie game, and it was a great shot, a great moment right there.
Definitely got the momentum shifted because we get to the 7-minute mark of the third period. Cooper Jones gets his second goal of the season, 2-1. And then Lucas Urusik, just 36 seconds later, is able to find the back of the net and extends the lead out to 3-1. But the game wasn't quite over yet.
It wasn't. But, man, lightning struck twice in 36 seconds. And then it was a battle with Roanoke the rest of the game. Roanoke finally scores with 1:05 remaining in the third period to cut it to 3-2. They pulled their goalie for the last 55 seconds, and they just couldn't get it done, and the Ice Flyers come home with the win.
It was a nice win. Of course, we had several of the board members from Rally Gulf Coast on the ice during the first intermission. Get to welcome back Cam Baker, a former Ice Flyer as well, a multi-championship Ice Flyer, back to the hangar, and did a little shoot-off trying to get money raised for Rally Gulf Coast. $100 a puck. I think we got $1,800 in the net, and then Greg Harris, owner of the Pensacola Ice Flyers, got to work some magic going coast to coast. As we do so often, he decided that we were going to go and basically add $1,800 for every puck that he was able to shoot and score coast to coast, one end to the other, while doing it barefoot.
Yeah, man, it was amazing to see. Like, he was out there just, slinging it. The stick skills were on display, my man. I was like, what is going on out there? And then I found out he's also barefoot out there, which is going to get you in trouble down the line. I promise you it's going to.
Yeah, but won't be too happy.
He slung it down there. And I think I heard you say the final tally at the very end of that was over north of $18,000 just for that. But we also rallied off or auctioned off the game-worn jerseys and autographed gold pucks for even more money. So what a great night for the Rally Foundation and the Pensacola Ice Flyers.
Well, and hats off to the front office, because rally night is something that they really get behind every year and try to really make an impact on, and bringing out those specialty jerseys. Last year, they actually had the jerseys that were colored by the Rally kids. So every single jersey that was on ice was a very unique jersey. And then, having those yellow ribbon childhood cancer jerseys for seasons before. This, I got to say, was probably one of the coolest ones. The sleeves had all the kids' names who have been impacted by Rally. So it was a great way to salute and carry on the names of those kids right there on the ice during the game. And then post-game in the auction, having all those jerseys going for several $100s where the money is being donated right back to Rally Gulf Coast was a really cool opportunity to help an organization locally in such a big factor.
Absolutely, man. When I saw those jerseys first online, the jersey reveal online, I immediately texted Brendan and told him how sick those jerseys are, man. They're so awesome. But I have to conserve because there's going to be a Star Wars jersey that I got to buy. And we'll talk about more of that later in the show. But, speaking of jerseys, it was youth jersey giveaway night on Saturday night. Got off to a bumpy start, just getting the game started. I was off that night, but you were there. And I don't think you dropped the puck till 7:45.
Yeah, it was about a 30-minute delay. There was a power issue coming into the base center, so doors opening was pushed back about 30 minutes. Face off was pushed back about 40 minutes, and we were still able to get in a full game and get some brand new jerseys on some youth hockey fans of the community. Unfortunately, didn't quite go our way. Let's get into those highlights. Roanoke scores first. Limburg beats out the rookie Rico DiMatteo and gets that 1-0 lead early on. But the Ice Flyers were able to answer right back in the second.
Yeah, I mean, that's the third straight game that the Ice Flyers were held scoreless in the first period. But the second and third period, they have been on fire as Cam Gaudette hit his second of the year with 3:08 in the second period. And then Sam Rhodes turned around and put the Ice Flyers up with his ninth of the year at 15:54 as we headed to the third period.
And I was kind of feeling happy that we've seen this story so many times before. The Ice Flyers come alive, we shut it down, we walk out with a win. But third period, Gustav Mueller takes it 2-2, scoring at that 3:46 mark quickly into the third period, ties it all up, sending the game into overtime.
Yeah, it going into overtime, like the Flyers had 14 shots on goal in the third period. Couldn't make any of them connect. They got 0 shots off in overtime because it was over quick. 1:45 into overtime on the power play for Roanoke. Tyler German called for a high sticking call. So they go in with on the good Lord, I can't even talk today. And I get paid to talk. They were on the power play, and Joe Widmer slams it home for their third goal and the win there in overtime. Not the outcome we wanted, but 3 out of 4 points over the weekend isn't bad because we are still standing tall at the top of the SPHL, but my mouth, the SPHL standings with a 2-point lead over the Evansville.
And realistically, we got 5 points this weekend with that road win in Birmingham on Thursday night as well.
Yeah,
so
not
6
bad,
points this weekend. Getting to tally up 5 of those, not bad. And especially that Saturday night game. I mean, still a great looking squad, but Roanoke put Austin Rodebush in goal Saturday night, whereas they put former Ice Flyer Cloys in the net on Friday night. So, Rodebush, he's one of the top goaltenders in the SPHL, and he's a tough guy to get that puck past. So being able to take that game all the way into overtime, still a testament to what this team is doing this year.
Yeah, and the fans were going crazy. And like I said, we always have to give a shout out to the fans because they've been waiting for this podcast, by the way. And also that we're averaging a league high just under 5,900 fans per game, which, by the way, congratulations to you Ice Flyers fans, because you are packing the barn and you are showing up and showing out on a game-by-game basis more than any other team in the league.
Well, it's so cool to see. 2 seasons ago, we broke the season attendance record in the hangar. Last year, we broke the record that we had just broken the year prior. And now we're already on track to smash those 2 previous records. So really awesome to see how loved and engaging the Ice Flyers and the fans are here in Pensacola.
Absolutely. And now this week, they have a tough game against the Huntsville Havoc, which we've played 4 games, 3 there and 1 here, but the home team has won every game. We're going to talk to the voice of the Pensacola Ice Flyers, Eric Bramer, about what's going on and he's going to help give us a little game preview, if you will. Now it's time to talk about college night as the Huntsville Havoc come to town, and here to help give you a preview of the game is the voice of your Pensacola Ice Flyers. Please welcome Eric Bramer. Eric, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. We appreciate you coming on the inaugural version of our show and helping giving a preview of college night coming up. And, it's the last game for about 8 days, which is a great break for the Ice Flyers.
Yeah, I was talking with the Roanoke broadcaster over the weekend, and he was not complaining, but talking about the very difficult schedule that they've been dealing with as of late. And it's just a reality in the SPHL that you have so much travel involved. It's rare that you get a chance like this to take a step back and get healthy, get right. I'm guessing that most teams would probably prefer to have it later on in the year when everyone's just a little bit more beaten up, but it's not a bad thing at all. And hopefully, the Ice Flyers can head into that stretch feeling pretty good about where they're at.
Well, they got to be feeling pretty good about where they're at because they have been on a heater since night one. I mean, they've off to this incredible start. Now, how exciting has it been for you to call these great games there at the hangar?
It's been great. And, you can just feel the energy, the fans. They endured a pretty difficult season last year. And even that, it's fun to show up to work and do what you got to do when the team isn't playing well. But it's all the more fun when the team's performing at a high level and the fans have that expectation. Everyone's just a little bit more locked in. And I think the fans can sense that.
Eric, you've been around the Ice Flyers for several seasons now, and we've seen both the good and the bad from the Ice Flyers over the last several seasons. One of those things I've noticed is up until this season, Pensacola has kind of been a revolving door. And I guess as an SPHL team, you want to see these players developing and moving up into the ECHL and a lot of trades that have happened in the years past. We're not seeing as much of that this year. What do you think that's kind of the reason for that we have the team and they're staying right here in Pensacola?
I mean, if I knew, I would tell you, but I think it's just a matter of recruiting the right guys. The last couple of years, it was almost a fault of the team that they had high caliber players who were often sent out on loan to the ECHL. And that's not to say that the current bunch of players is any less caliber of talent, but I do think that they've specifically targeted, and this goes for coaching and recruiting and ownership, they've specifically targeted guys that I think they expect to have here all year. And, the fact is the Ice Flyers don't get a ton of ice time to practice. The venue is used for other things. So any advantage that you can bring to the table in terms of familiarity with your teammates, I think that can make a difference on the margins, and we might be seeing a result of that here early on.
Now, you talk about loans on to the ECHL. This week, Ty Taylor loaned out to the South Carolina Stingrays. Does that put the bulk of the workload on rookie netminder Rico DiMatteo?
It probably was going to already. Just looking at the usage here from the first couple of weeks, Rico was getting the bulk of the playing time, and for good reason, because as a rookie, he's jumped right in and he's been one of the better goalies in the league. Ty Taylor, veteran of the league and certainly capable of playing at a higher level. I believe he picked up a win just after going out on loan the other night. So he's a good quality goalie, and we might be getting him back at some point. I don't know. But in the meantime, I think Rico DiMatteo is the guy, and the fact that the Ice Flyers do have a stretch here where they're not going to be leaning too much on a backup goalie, the workload isn't going to be all that much with the break that we've already discussed. I think that means that they're probably just going to try and roll with Rico DiMatteo for any opportunity that they can.
That's one of the things that I've also kind of, as a fan, have kind of had that relief, if you will. We sent Ty Taylor off. And we still had Rico DiMatteo. But then we had a third goalie that was kind of sitting off in the wings on the IR list that you didn't really hear from. But all of a sudden, hey, we've got our two goalies. We're ready to go as a full squad into the next series of games.
Yeah, I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches to have so many quality options. Logan Flodell, another quality goalie, and he's got a couple years of experience as well. So I think if you do get to that point where you need to lean on your number two goalie, and that's what Logan Flodell is right now through no fault of his own, I feel like the Ice Flyers should be pretty confident in where they're at.
Had another call-up recently in Blake Wells, and the cool thing and the sad thing is you have these call-ups, you have the trades, you continue to see those players do well, but then at the same time, we're seeing our players picking up that slack. So we're seeing the forwards kind of getting that same thing. We've got the players sitting in the wings on that IR, send one off. We got one to plug right into the spot.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the reasons why, there was a difficult decision made to trade away a couple longtime fan favorite players in the last couple of weeks, just because it's a roster crunch, and you got to go with the guys that you feel are going to give you the best chance to win. And the fact that this roster has depth has to be seen as a good thing, not a bad thing at this point.
Now, these two teams have met 4 times this year, 3 times in Huntsville, 1 time in our house. The home team has been victorious every single time. What can fans expect when they come into the hangar for College Night this week?
Well, I mean, I've been following the box scores of those road games, but I can only go off of what I see with my own 2 eyes. The Ice Flyers are a really good team at home, and I think, getting the crowd on their side is going to be a big part of their success, both on Thursday and moving forward throughout the rest of the year. Familiarity breeds contempt. We saw some bad blood boiling over in just the span of a couple games against Roanoke, which is not a frequent opponent. So the teams down here in the southern part of the SPHL that we do see more frequently, as the season goes along, that familiarity is going to create a different style of hockey, I think, and there are going to be more narratives that grow throughout the season. So that's something that I'll be keeping an eye on Thursday.
Do you think this is just the team kind of coming together, or do you think there's kind of that future sense of urgency with Mobile getting their team in 2027 to where Greg Harris and the office staff and even right to the coaching staff and players are realizing, all right, we have to reestablish Pensacola as a top tier team because in 2 years there's going to be another team 45 minutes west?
I don't think the front office or ownership needs any extra motivation to try and put a good product on the ice. I think that exists already, but hopefully people see the addition of the Mobile team as a good thing, an exciting thing, because those rivalries help make the fan experience more enjoyable. The Ice Flyers are going to have a convenient road trip to go to. Mobile is going to have a built-in fan base that is going to want to come and see the Ice Flyers play. So I think that's going to be great for the league. Having done minor league baseball here in this market for many years as well, I know that the relationships between us and Biloxi, us and Montgomery, we used to have a team in Mobile that was a pretty big rival of ours. Those things make it more fun, not less fun. So hopefully, the front office and the personnel on the ice as well see that as a challenge to look forward to in the next couple of years.
Now, what are the big key? We want to stay on this heater we've been on for a while. I mean, we're 5-0-1 in our last 6. What are the big keys to staying undefeated in regulation, as we took a overtime loss, but in regulation, undefeated at home this week against a tough Havoc team?
Well, you do things well and you just want to keep doing them well. And anytime you're at the top of the standings, you have to say that you're doing most things well, right? But the one area that I know, talking with Jeremy Gates, they do want to improve on is the face-offs. Some of that is personnel. Matt Wiesner was kind of the face-off guy, and now he's no longer on the team. So finding guys that you can trust to win a face-off when you need one, controlling the puck and just trying to tilt the time of possession a little bit more in your favor. I think that's going to be an area that I'm confident they'll figure out, but that was something that they kind of struggled on this past weekend.
Yeah, one of the things that Moose and I talked about earlier is the fans. We lead the league in average attendance of just under 5,900 fans a game. I mean, that energy really plays to not only the players, but for you too. I mean, you got to be excited up there. The house is rocking, and we got everything going, and we're scoring goals by the handful. I mean, it's got to be really exciting for you when the fans are into it and the game's going well.
Oh, yeah. It's a great atmosphere. And if you're listening to an Ice Flyers podcast, you probably end up going to most of our games. So I don't need to sell you on that experience. But, it does translate to the on-ice product. The fans connect with the players and the players feel it. You saw 3 power play goals in the third period on Friday night. I don't think that happens if the Ice Flyers are on the road. You get that snowball rolling downhill and you get that momentum going. I think the fans are a big part of that. Not only helping to boost the home team, but also intimidating the visiting team, because this is the place, as you said, that draws on average, the highest attendance in the league. Visiting teams aren't used to that. When they come here, they know that they're in for a unique experience, maybe not a positive experience for them, but it's on the fans to keep that pressure up. And I think that's a big part of why the team has been so good at home this year.
Yeah, I think that's a really big part of it as well. And huge kudos to the Pensacola fans, because it's not just like it's a one-off. Oh, we've got a winning team and fans are showing up. we've consistently been in the top 3 in attendance and attendance average for the last several seasons. So I think that says something about hockey in Pensacola overall.
Last year was the real test, right? Because it was a struggle on the ice, but the fans still showed up. I want to say it was a total attendance even higher than the previous year. So, yeah, everyone wants to see a winning team, but these are diehard fans. They're going to be with the Ice Flyers through thick and thin, and they had to endure a tough season last year, but it sure looks like happy days are here again.
Well, as a newbie to the area, I'm super excited to be not only a part of the Ice Flyers, but just to see the the hockey community down here in a place. Look, it wasn't that long ago that people were like, "What? You have hockey in Texas and Florida? What is going on here?" But to see it flourishing here, it's been pretty awesome to see since I got here.
Yeah, and I'm an outsider too. I've lived here for now 4 years, so I've gotten to know the community in the area. If you told me that hockey was the big pastime in the wintertime, I wouldn't have believed you. But you've got so many people here who grew up maybe in different climates, and even people who are local who just enjoy the game and the strategy of it. It's a fun mixture, and I know that the Ice Flyers fans are a high IQ bunch. They know their hockey, and we try and translate that passion into the broadcast that we put on for our home games.
Eric, always great to have conversations with you and kind of get some of that insight behind the scenes and your perspective of the games and the teams as well. So thank you for joining us here on episode 1 of the Flight Deck.
Absolutely. I've got the worst seats in the house. I'm way up top there. So all I can do is tell you what I see, but it's been a fun job this year, and it'll be a fun rest of the season. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, Eric. Man, if you can't make it to the game, you can hear Eric on Flow Hockey TV all season long.
Several more opportunities to check out the Ice Flyers in the hangar this month, including December 11th. It's a Thursday night game, and it's college night, which kind of coincides with college graduations, the fall semester going on this weekend. So that's going to be a great time. 7:05 start time, 6 o'clock doors will open at the Pensacola Bay Center. Then after that, we are back home on December 20th for a night that I know you, sir, are very much looking forward to.
Man, Star Wars night? Are you kidding? My nerd is going crazy. I'm over here. Look, I even pulled this out just for this occasion. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? What's that? Star Wars blaster right there. And of course, we're taking on the Huntsville Havoc. So let's just hope that the Huntsville Havoc that night are like regular stormtroopers and miss all the shots they take.
Always a fun time on December 23rd. That is the Ice Flyers Christmas game. Santa Claus is expected to be in the house. In years past, we've seen Buddy the Elf. We've seen the Grinch. We have a lot of guests that join us for the Christmas game. That is on December 23rd. And we wrap up 2025 with another military appreciation night on Saturday, December 27th.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff coming up, man. It's been a great episode. I want to thank you for accepting the offer to join me on this quest that is the Flight Deck, and I'm super thankful that you wanted to join in with me, and I'm super thankful to Ice Flyers owner Greg Harris and the front office staff for letting us put this together and move forward with this project.
Oh, most definitely. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's something that, Pensacola's been missing. As much of a hockey town as Pensacola is, I think we need that extra boost. So looking forward to continuing to follow the team and get our fans some of that inside access, if you will, as the season progresses.
Absolutely. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. On your way out, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that little bell so you get them notifications for every episode of the Flight Deck. Until then, we'll see you down the road.